On June 3rd, local artist and musician Jeremy Farrell opened the Shitshow Gallery in Crescent City. Hailing from Smith River with an assist from the San Gabriel Valley growing up, Farrell says he started the gallery to give back to the community through his art and provide a space for other artists to show their art, however strange it might be. Much of the art in his gallery is unconventional, an aspect of artistic expression that Farrell feels a deep connection to.
That came, I guess that comes with experience. And, I started off, if I had a career arc or whatever, first was drawing. I drew a lot, just pencil and paper, and I was the kid that always drew on his notebooks and all my homework assignments. And it's a long story, but basically, I guess it's everybody's true art, the artist within is usually informed by their character, and I've just been unconventional my whole life, and I have a really unconventional family and an unconventional childhood, and so I think it's, I'm just being honest with myself, and the more people know me, then they're not as surprised, wow, Jeremy did some weird shit,
The unconventional is much more common than people might realize, and some of this art reflects that through its conceptual style. But how did he come to this style of art?
Even my day, in the 80s, 90s, right? Where, once I went to college and with social media and things started, becoming more, coming to the light more, being well known, it really did inform me, where I was I'm going to be a painter, and I like sculpture. And then I took a class 70s conceptual art, and it was blew my mind. It was literally this, what is this? Which I consider myself a conceptual artist, is Marcel Duchamp, with the toilet. He flipped the toilet upside down, and he was the godfather of the conceptualism. And then it went, but that's all I knew too. It was oh wow, and Andy Warhol and 15 Minutes of Fame, everybody's famous, and these concepts. But then I didn't realize there was an actual, a movement.
The 70s conceptual art movement has made ripples in modern art, not all of which are immediately obvious. Why does this town need a reminder of strange art?
I know Crescent City pretty well. Is I don't want to disparage things, but safe art, which is whales and lighthouse driftwood art, and basically conventional. People want this stuff in their. A lot of people don't want stuff hanging in their house that makes them think about 9/11 or UFOs or some shit, or whatever, for local, they don't want to be reminded of that stuff. So I totally understand that, and that is needed. So I think that's where the void I want to fill is in freedom of expression. And if I trust you as an artist and I like your art, then it's within reason, anything goes, and I'm not going to be the one my art and my gallery is to allow people to feel, maybe you do safe art, that's your living or whatever, and then you have this secret, I've always wanted to express this love of whatever weird shit, it's not about money, which is a big thing for me. It's about first and foremost the art, and if I trust you and invite you to show, then if you want to come in here and videotape yourself farting for the whole show or something.
Noxious gases aside, Farrell is open to trying new things, which isn't common in this town. But how open is he to things that fly off the rails?
I want to uplift the community, and I had my friend's son Dylan. He was painting last night, and that was totally off the cuff, and it started off with a whole different idea. But then I was and it turned, that's what I mean. Once the idea is free, and people take it, then to see the surprise of let's see where this goes, and that's what gets me excited, because I'm a little jaded as far as individual pieces, I'm making my masterpiece or anything,
Children painting in the gallery during a show is certainly different than other galleries in town, but what else makes the Shitshow Gallery different?
If I'm going to have a spot, it needs to be like welcoming and we talked earlier about like not like intimidating, like, oh, art gallery, like, don't talk, and like, so I mean that just comes from me too, and I'm sure some of my shows will be more so like that, like more like I can't control, like my next show is my uncle's show, Jerry Frost, and he's a painter and like brilliant, but it's not, there's not gonna be kids running around and kids painting over in the corner, it's not gonna be wild or whatever. It's more about his art, and showcasing it. But for the most part, when I have events or something, I'm gonna always try to make it different, and cool, like in its own way. Because we have plenty of restaurants, we have plenty of bars, we have plenty of that, but like there is like this missing, section, like for the radio, like with K-Fug, they feel a void of like, man, like different, why would I open a gallery and just have like, knickknacks and t-shirts and stuff? And like, and that's already, we already have that. So it's like, and that's my whole thing and everything is like, if I'm going to do something, then be excited about it. It has to be different, and
though a gallery is often known to be a static thing, Jeremy creates a wild scene with almost every showing he has. Though age has slowed him down a bit, everything has to be, in his words, a shit show.
The thing I'm greatest at is creating a shit show, like like that's my, like making like a scene or whatever, and like with my music, with everything, it's like I always want to, like, it's not enough, and I'm slowing down a little bit in my age, but like it's never enough for me to be like, come to my show, yay, I'm having a show. It always has to be more exciting, like break my guitar, but like telling jokes, and yeah, like this is the next step, and it's a logical step, and I have more goals after this, I mean, honestly, I'm like already, like, after last night, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, I did it. Like, that's how I am, like I'm.
Unfortunately, the Shitshow Gallery has now come to a close. Due to its out-of-the-way location, the venture was handicapped from the start. Only having 2 events hosted there, the place disappeared as quickly as it appeared. However, the gallery existed, and conceptually, the idea was put across just as he wanted. Perhaps the safe art of Crescent City pushed the little gallery out, or maybe this was Farrell's plan all along. Follow Made in China Man on Instagram to keep up with Farrell's art. This has been Sebastian for Redwood Voice.